I've done now is I've made a much larger coil. Yeah, I think it's 45 to 50 turns. Used a power transistor and a heatsink. We've still got the 1.5 volt battery at the second, and that's lighting up really well. But if we put 2 batteries in here, you'll notice it's still glowing roughly the same. But if I disconnect that now, what I've done is I've put a little neon across the 2 legs to protect the transistor. And if you have a look at it on the scope, what we're getting here is we're on the 5 volts per division range, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 up there, so that's 20. And I've actually got the scope probe on times 10, so that's 200 volts. Now the reason I made the coil a lot larger was because I want to start running 12 volts through it. So I'm just going to switch the circuit off and then run 12 volts through it, so you can see what kind of a voltage spike you get. I'll do that now. Probe back down to the just like 1-to-1 position, and I'm just going to turn my time base up as far as it goes, and as we hook the power onto this now, you'll notice the neon's glowing nice and bright now at 12 volts, and we're getting a lot of spikes coming up now. We're over scanning and under scanning, so we'll just move that up slightly. Alright, and that's on 20 volts per division. So if I knock this down to 5 volts per division and move this down to 10 times, what we've got here is 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Back off that. Now I think the reason we're getting that is because the neon's on it. I'm going to desolder the neon and see what kind of spikes we're going to get then. And hopefully they're much higher. I'll do that now. Desoldered one of the legs of the neon there, so it's not touching now. I'm just going to hook this up, and you can noticeably hear that the tone's a lot higher than for the coil, which is oscillating and vibrating. I think it's in resonance there at the moment. And if we have a look over here, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 5. So that makes 25 times 10, which is 250 volts. So what I want to do now is to make sure that we are getting that kind of voltage, is to grab this massive capacitor we got here and hook up the terminals to it. So there's no rating on it, but I've charged it before to 440 volts, and it's enough to light a light bulb. So I'm going to hook that up now and start it charging. Hooked up the capacitor, and at the back I've got a digital multimeter that's hooked directly up to it. So if I plug this in there, that's a familiar sound, isn't it? That sounds like the flash charging. That's charging up quite quickly there. I'm going to wait for it to get to 200 volts, or see how high up we can get it to go, to get an accurate reading of what the top pulses are. I'm going to cut back to it when it's fully charged. Right, we've got it charged up now to about 206 volts, and I've hooked up a light bulb here, a couple of leads coming off the end. So I'm going to just disconnect the charger and borrow this lead. And hook that up to there, and we can watch this discharge now. I was quite impressed at that you can put the peak voltage from a 12 volt to 200. I'm sure it's got many applications, this has. But anyway, thanks for watching.